updated the followers yet, but we're at 22.
Oh my God.
Hi, everybody. If anyone caught in the early of the stream there and just heard everybody talking, thanks for that to Lee. We all probably already know. Hi, welcome to D&D. Our D&D game every Tuesday will be happening every Tuesday with this fine bevy of people here. We will go from left to right and then get around to introducing everybody as just in a couple of minutes here. But hi, welcome to my homebrew D&D campaign of D&D's World of Valorium. I promised Lee I would do that, to be fair, because you wanted to do that. Yes, you can all unmute yourselves now, guys, if you're wanting to say hi to everybody. Hi to
I
all
was
the lovely
never
people watching.
muted.
Me neither.
I was
Muted you.
quiet.
You're lucky you didn't get kicked.
Professional.
Yeah. So, this we've been playing this D&D campaign for just round about, the same, longer than the Mutant campaign, if I'm not mistaken. So we're maybe coming up on a year. Actually, I think we may be doing that. Round about, give
You
or
have
take.
gone mad. Yeah. Okay, yeah, a year. All right then.
Yeah, we've gone a year. Yeah, it makes me like sound like more experienced
not a
DM and
year.
knows what he's doing. Yeah, it gives us that kind of element to it. Again, like I say, it's a homebrewing campaign. It's a very strange world indeed, as the world of Florium. It is a place that is ravaged by trees, basically. There is no water sources whatsoever, apart from in certain bits of land. It is a full iron oak ocean, which is the trees, with sparse islands and lands in mountainous regions that poke up just from under the canopies to give the people above land a chance to live, thrive, hopefully, and on occasionally get through life without the creatures below the canopy, which, funnily enough, is where the campaign from 2 weeks ago left off, and we're jumping in, which will be quite the experience. So, this is going to be probably a RP heavy episode, simply just to get everybody back in into the thing of getting comfortable within the skins of the characters again, and making sure that they are able to give descriptions of the characters, some new, some old. But we will get certainly down to that. But like I say, if you were here for the mutant, game yesterday, hi, welcome back again. You'll recognise me. I am Dick Naylor. I will be the DM and the GM of this party. We'll call them party because it's nice. You'll also recognise Lee, if we remember Lee. He also our glorious DM and GM from the Mutant Zero. We also have
Rach. I
Rach.
prefer to use, but yes.
Yeah, that's true. We also have Rach back. She is also part of this, again, from the Mutant game. Unfortunately, no Murray,
Can't
but I'm
get
sure
rid of
Murray will be
me.
lurking somewhere. Yeah. We also have our good man Scott as well, again from the Mutant campaign back in. But we've got some glorious new faces, and I will go from the left to right. Well, my left to right, with the lovely David. David, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Of course, my name's David.
Out of sync with reality.
Audio errors already.
I'm real.
This is a bad start.
This is the
It's going to
best
just fall
start.
over and be a cardboard cutout. It's like, oh my God.
We ran out of friends, so we just propped up this random person.
We can come back to David. Once he stops being a robot, we will go to Jim. Jim, if you would like to introduce yourself, mate.
Hi, I'm Jim, and I've been playing D&D for the past couple of years. And I found it over lockdown because I was lonely and no friends, and now I've got friends.
Hey, always have friends.
Cheers!
Hey, D&D family.
Yeah, it brings people closer together so we can kill each other in humorous and hilarious ways.
So we can vent our frustrations. Me and Scott
Pretty
like
much.
each other in real life, by
Yep.
the way, no matter
Yeah,
what.
we like each other in real life.
I
but-
will point out that
No, we
me and
don't. We
Lee's
hate each other.
characters hate each other, but me and Lee love each other in real life.
Yeah, I'm only here for the money. I get paid for this. This is the only reason I'm here.
Wait, we
minute.
don't.
We're paying
Yeah.
you.
But you commit.
Speaking of paid, we will move on to the eye candy of the start to move on to the eye candy of the players here. We will first go with our resident male, our resident heterosexual male, Leon. If Leon would like to introduce himself.
Oh, you don't know.
I know you flustered him.
My name's Leon.
Yes.
I've been with the group since I think lockdown as well. I think that was a large portion of like what I needed at the time, and what it was definitely what kept me sane at the time. I owe a lot to the group, and yeah, I've really enjoyed playing with them throughout all that. I think Richard's campaign has been probably one of the best campaigns I've been a part of since playing D&D. I've played Curse of Strahd in the past. I've been able to run a few games here and there, but yeah, I feel really lucky to be part of this party. So can't wait to start off streaming. I'm going to be playing Gaz tonight. I think I'll go a little bit more into our characters later on, but
Yeah,
yeah,
especially
can't
when
wait
we
for
introduce you in the appropriate moment in the story beats. But yeah, great to have you. I feel bad now for actually talking about kicking you out of the stream. So, yeah, we didn't do that. We pay him to come here. And
We
then we'll move
don't.
on to the next eye candy of the place, and the resident person who brings everything down to a toilet humour level. We will go to the lovely, the lovely Sally. Sally, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Sally. I started off wanting to do D&D since I was like about 15, but I could never find a group of people to let me join in because I'm rubbish at following rules. So then I went into LARPing. That kind of got expensive, so I had to stop doing that. And then back in lockdown, we started up the group, and I've been a part of it ever since. And I love it, and I wouldn't have it any other way than what we do and how we interact with one another and everything. It's hilarious and fun, and it brings me light into my life. So yay, well done, guys. But yeah, I love it and enjoy playing. So I hope you enjoy watching.
Yeah, and Sally obviously is our resident ball of sunshine, of course. There's a reason she's here, because she keeps us all grounded.
If you need a smile or laugh, just get a
Yeah,
Sally.
exactly. You need
She is
you
watching
want
the
toilet
chat.
humour.
Just say rude words in the chat and see how
Yeah.
long it takes her
It'll
to
kill her.
laugh.
Innuendo, which will not be in chat because they're all banned.
Innuendo.
Innuendo.
And now it's all
Anyway.
started.
I think we shall try and go to David now. David might be having some technical problems.
He's
because they're all-
rebooted. It's okay.
Yeah,
Nope.
he is
No,
on
still
mute.
downloading that update.
He's definitely muted.
Can't hear you, mate.
Can't you?
I'm glad that you
Um,
went to the Faraday cage that's in your house to do the stream. That was a genius idea, mate.
Yeah, also, David happens to be a theatre grad, so he will be playing through interpreted dance for the purposes of this stream.
His character
Yes, here we
can't
go.
speak.
Yes,
Leon did do that as a character once. So that was a fun
Lee was
sketch.
not happy.
yes,
No,
interpreted
What
dance.
asshole,
We
by
love
the
it.
way.
But from what I can understand from David's interpretive dance, again being a professional actor as I like to be, I got paid once for acting. I can tell that he is telling us he's fucked off. That's what's happened. Okay, that
He's
joke
about
fell flat on his
to-
arse.
I wasn't listening. I was reading chat.
Nope. So,
let's move on.
without further ado,
Move
Ooh,
close.
that is true. There is one.
We
That
use.
seems like an insincere apology video that you get from a celebrity now. That he says right into his camera.
Or he's going to start singing
I'm
a
sorry
song.
that you took offence, said my gratuitous use of the word penis. However,
I would like to apologise for the moment I was caught with my pants down. I
It's
accidentally
picking
fell
you
into
up. I
that
don't know
sheet.
why we're not hearing you.
Oh God.
Yeah, there he is. We can hear something.
Can you hear me?
Yay!
Ruined the stream, but well done.
The
mate.
anticipation was building. I love it.
Absolutely. I'm nothing
Only
if not noticeable.
So, David, I've already explained that you are a theatre grad. So, if you want to go on further and elaborate.
Well, of course, by all means, set the tone. So yes, my name is David. I'm one of the more recent additions to this D&D campaign. I've not been playing particularly long, so every single mistake will probably be my fault. You can thank me in advance. I will be playing naturally a bard, the theatre child playing the bard. Who would have seen that coming? And my bard will be a half-orc named Sir Janus de Grande. He's the greatest bard in the world, naturally, because what other kind of bard is worth knowing? And beyond that, you'll just have to learn as we go along, as will I be.
Nice. And he has, don't let him fool you, he actually is pretty clued up on his rules and is proven that many time again. Just a shame he can't hit for shit.
If anything, I make it look good. I make failure look
Oh, I'm
Yes.
having this one now.
So anyhow, we've went through around introductions. Yes, we've had a lot of introductions here. Scotty boy, yes, we can still hear you if you're wondering.
No, it was the computer just went no. I'm like, oh no, the stream got cut out, but it
There
remained
is so many
safe.
players, so many people. So, without further ado, let us deep dive into this world of Felorium, quite literally as well, if you remember from the last time. So, let's just get my professional voice on as we go on here. Needs my medicine. So, with all good stories, they usually start with a bang. However, in this case, it's usually with a crunch, a crash, a wallop. The groaning and pressure inerted upon the broken oar ship, ripped in two by the fabled Kraken, a creature, a hideous reptilian creature who lives in lore and legend, but not anymore. You faced it down as he decided to wrap its pressurized, crushing coils around his ship. You fought off valiantly. Quite a few of yous didn't fare too well. And with the sudden last strike from one's warhammer of a particular turtle called Ralph, the Kraken falls, as did the broken oar, as its coils constricted at that last fatal blow and breaks the ship in two, sending half your group skywards into the Iron Oak Ocean, the canopies below, with quick thinking on the other hand with Sir Janus de Grande casting a quick and inevitable, well, yet very safe feather fall. You now start to fall in. However, two of your contingent, one Nim, a half-orc paladin who has
That's
been
me.
with the group from the beginning, and our lovely Asimir, paladin as well, of Daphne, diving in head first to try and retrieve the body of Nim, who was unfortunately swallowed by the Kraken, which is a very misnomer because this was a very huge snake. The Kraken was the best name to come up with it. However,
I mean, Leviathan's right there, but okay.
yeah, we don't go with Leviathan. I wanted to use
Hmm.
Kraken. It was to throw you off. I wanted to give you the idea of the Kraken.
whatever
start-
GM wants, GM gets.
So, again, we start with all good stories. You start with a crash bang and a wallop as Daphne, you fall into the canopy, darker, deeper, hitting branches and logs and everything in between as you start to fall, tumble with Nim in your arms. You seem to be falling for what feels like forever. In truth, maybe only 10, 15 seconds before all of a sudden, bang, you hit something solid. With Nim lying in your arms, coughing up some sort of black ichor that's been consumed within her body as she was within the Kraken's stomach. The distant echoes of the the planks, the bow of the ship, the starboard as well, just falling through the Ironok Ocean's canopies. You think you're alone, but you're not pressed upon that now. You're more worried about your friend Nim, who is slowly being consumed by the poison and dying in your arms as we speak. And this is where we jump off.
Ugh.
Our GM's ran away.
And-
Quick, roll all the dice.
All the dice, all the time.
What's that? A natural 20 on the D4, you say?
That's how I roll.
Right. I'm not going to cry, I promise.
I know.
Nim's just sort of lying there with her eyes sort of like drifting heavily and just trying to keep the focus on Daphne because you can sort of hear her speaking. And she just clutches the pendant that Gaz has given her and just goes to Daphne, give it back to him and say thank you.
Sally, we can't hear you.
I muted my thing. Damn it! I'm just like, I'll go. No, Nim, you give it back to him. You give it him. You're gonna stay. You can't. You please stay. Don't leave me.
I'm just too tired. I can't
No.
do it no more.
Nim,
Make sure Ralph finds some baby eggs, okay? You've got a promise.
okay. Don't go, please. Please, Nim, please don't go.
Thanks for being an amazing friend.
Nim. I just pull her in my arms and burst into tears.
As soon as you do that and you pull her in, you can feel the last breath of Nim leaving her body as quietly and unfortunately probably just as painfully the life slips from her body and she
I'm
starts
sorry,
to go
Nim.
cold.
I'm sorry I couldn't save you, Nim. I'm sorry.
And with that, Daphne, for the first time in a long time since you've met this group, you are truly alone. However, with the grief that's now stricken with you, it takes you maybe 5-10 minutes before you realise you're on something solid. Now, you've never been below the canopy, and a lot of folk have within this point because you try and avoid the canopy. It's very much like the ocean, with boats and skiffs floating upon the canopies as they go. We're using wind power to traverse into the different islands and isles and mountainous areas within the land of Felorium, or the world of Felorium as we would call it. However, this is strangely solid. In fact, it looks a little bit thicker and wider than a normal tree trunk would be, or even a tree branch. In fact, it looks like some sort of platform you may have landed on. Rudimentary at best, but a platform nonetheless.
Have I seen it in any books or anything?
Well, with your background in joinery that we have established from the previous episodes that were not be obviously filmed, this is the first debut live show, guys. It's rudimentary at best. It is made up of, well, pretty much like the Flotsam Islands that you came from right in early in the campaign. It's made up of boats, crates, things that can be salvaged. Again, know your knowledge of the iron oaks. The trees here are hard to work simply because of the magical aura they protrude from themselves. The wood cannot be worked into or broken down or made into pretty much planks of wood. So it seems it's something probably a little bit more sentient than the creatures that you've been dealing with, probably around about here. However, the platform as it goes along further into the darkness of the shadows of the canopy, it kind of cuts off bits. It seems as if it was made specifically for something.
I just look up from Nim, still holding her, and I'm just looking around and wondering how I can leave her, because obviously I can't take her with me. Am I able to build like a funeral? Is it pyre with the wood or anything about?
It would maybe take you 10 minutes to maybe scrape some of the wood up from the place you are, and some of the wood falling from the shattered remains of the broken warship itself are still raining upon you. Not as much, but
I really should
you
know
could make
what
a
damage
rudimentary.
I've taken.
Yeah. You're quite bad. I will say you're maybe on, well, if I remember correctly, you didn't take much hits, so say you lose 10, 12 hit points. Simply
I
just
used to lay
from
on
falling
hands
from the
before I
canopy.
died.
Save
If you could
myself,
use
but
lay
I
on
choose
hands,
to
you would have
save
saved
you.
yourself. Yeah, you would have saved yourself. However,
I didn't have any left.
That makes sense. Otherwise, it'd be really weird that I choose to die.
yeah, I chose to die instead of
I'm
saving
really
myself.
sleepy.
Here, have my last health.
Yeah. Your plot armor has ran out. So, yeah, you can make up a rudimentary funeral pyre if you need to, but this is where things get janky because I'm watching other things as well at the same time. Do you? What skills are you proficient in?
Oh, that
As
means I
in,
actually have to look at everything.
I will look.
I
Don't worry.
believe,
Yes, you do have survival.
carpentry is,
Yes.
all right, that kind of
More
skill, sorry.
importantly, you are proficient in survival. So, we'll say without having to waste the first roll of the game on such a thing, it is a good idea. You could probably do a funeral pyre, but to burn it is probably a bad idea. Now, again, knowing the Iron Oak Ocean from the history that you've encountered throughout this campaign, the trees won't burn.
Okay.
However, the thing you're standing on probably would. Not only that, it might actually bring attention to more creatures like the fabled kraken.
So if
or
I
maybe
made a
something worse.
a tomb out of the wood rather than a pyre, then
You could certainly do that.
yeah, I'll do that rather than so that she's like, had some sort of dignity.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm gonna do that and look up as well to try and figure out how I'm gonna get back to the top.
Okay. Now we can do the first roll of the first ever roll of this live streaming campaign.
Oh
If you
no,
could
and
make
you've done it on me.
Yeah, we dumped it on you. If you could make me a perception check.
Old Sally, natural 3
Roll a
Sally. Here we
natural
go.
one.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
natural
right.
pressure.
20s from here on in.
To be fair, no one rolls as bad as that.
Distinctly average.
Could have been worse.
It
Could
could
have
have
been worse.
been.
Distinctly average. Pretty much
Ooh,
like my DMing.
middle of the road. There we go.
Right. So, it's very dark in here, even though it is high noon. It is it's hard.
Ooh, reference.
References, yeah. Even
No
though it's
other
round about
D&D
high
streams
noon.
exist.
Yes, no other D&D streams exist, just this game.
Never heard of them.
Follow, like, subscribe, pay us. Yeah, it is very, very dark. There's very little light that gets in between the branches and the canopies from the Iron Oak Ocean from above. There is very little light, but however, with your mystical and wondrous family trait armor,
Love my armor.
you are exuding light, so you're able to see within the bounds of your vision. However, again, the only light that's really coming from into this area is yourself.
Okay.
Ray of sunshine.
And however, from there, as you start to build a rudimentary tomb for your friend Nim, who has recently passed on into spirit, we will go to Leon Gaz and Melgrim. Now, the last thing you remember was taking out the Kraken. You helped in part with doing what you could, helping out Captain Tinning at the time, who was badly wounded by the Kraken itself as well and was badly poisoned. You remember that the poison is able to be, diluted and made non-lethal through use of magics that Melgrim is not entirely happy with, but nonetheless would be using. However, this is not the first thing that goes through your mind as you're flung 20 to 30 to 60 feet into the air, further away from the ship as the ship breaks in half and sends you one way. As you fly through the air, you notice Vannon as well flying on the other side. Your companion dwarf Melgrim. As you're flying through, you can see Gaz as well flying in round about the same area. It's as you start to, as the canopy of the Iron Oak Ocean itself starts to get closer and closer until you just stop and you start to float ever so gently down into the canopy itself.
Can I try and grab onto Melgrim and just like hug him?
Okay. Yes, mate.
I'm going to spin round and aim him to the ground.
Well, before we do that, Melgrim, we
What are
need to make
friends
sure
for?
Gaz manages to get to you. If you could make, let's call it an athletics check. You're going to be trying swimming over to him. If I remember correctly, athletics is not your forte.
No. +0. So.
Nice.
Okay.
Not
I mean,
20 right
okay.
off the bat.
Just to check
Do you have like a guidance thing? Does your thing not on
Oh, you
Canadian?
did. You did.
Gave it to.
You gave it
away,
to
didn't you? Yeah.
Oh, 2.
Yeah. You start to doggy paddle as best as you can. You're not going anywhere. Melgrim, it looks.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the word pathetic this early on in the stream. It's damn close, though.
I'm going to try and reach out to grab him.
Okay. You eventually. You're about
Aim
10.
him under you.
You're about 10, 15 feet between each other, and then all of a sudden, you start to hit upon the canopy. You would think it was a wee bit more solid than it looks. Especially being on the Iron Oak Ocean for quite a while now. You're maybe roughly maybe 3 weeks in on the journey. The way the ships have been skiffing through the Iron Oak on top of the canopy, it looks solid enough to hold. But as soon as you hit, it just kind of envelops you as you're starting to pulled in. Not so much by vines or anything unnatural fauna or flora. It's more it just kind of envelops you, almost like an ocean. So as you start to go in, and Gaz, as you start to be pulled in as well, you see Vannon fly off into the distance, and he starts to be pulled in. I need Gaz and Melgrim.
Mm-hmm.
Why the hell not? No, well, actually, let's not do Vannon. For reasons to will be quite soon. Gaz and Melgrim, if you make your first roll of the game, if you can make me a Constitution saving throw, please. This is kind of a poison as well, Melgrim. So yeah, I was going to say you've rolled. That's cool.
Natural 20.
Oh, there's the nat 20 we want.
Hey.
What's nat 20 of the stream?
From the religious temple of the Freightus Lux, when you went down into the mountains that proceeded to go below the canopy line, with the air slowly feeding in through the tunnels and the various cracks and crevices, you're used to this kind of now, so you've got no effect of the whatever lay below the canopy or any defense systems that the flora and the fauna have. So yous are okay for now, but as you start to realize you're starting to float further in, for a good, well, I would say it's usually a couple of seconds to fall through the canopy, but you're on Featherfall, we'll say 10-15 seconds. There's leaves everywhere, you're just getting hit by things, and then you come out, and then you're below the tree line.
This feels like getting hit with a baseball bat rather than like a branch.
No, it's branches. It's not so much baseball bats. It's if you were going through at the speed Daphne and Nim were, you would be slapped about. Yeah, it would be the Evil Dead 2 montage where you're getting flung about and smacked out. But however, you start to come through and you start come below the canopy itself, and there are just masses of amounts of trees, trunks everywhere, big huge branches. Very dark. For those who have dark vision, it's even harder for yourselves to see, so you'll be looking at dark vision at half range at this point.
What sort of like momentum coming through here? Is it like quite fast? Are we able to like grab on to anything?
It's almost like some sort of it's almost like gravity on the moon. You see slight jumping up and down. It's the Featherfall is certainly helping your descent. However, Featherfall does not last too long. You would know this, Gaz. Actually, you probably would know this as well, Melgrim. You've had it cast upon you before. So, with the centre fall, you start to realise we need to find somewhere safe and solid to land
I'm
before.
going to try and reach to grab a tree.
Okay.
I'll try and dig my nails into one of them.
Right.
Yeah, if there's a leaf I can try and grab onto, but if not, I'll just grab onto some bark and just, my fingers will take the hit.
Right. If you would both like to make me an athletics check again for swimming to try and swim to the cliff, just try and move to somewhere. where you think
Can I use acrobatics? Can I cartwheel there?
you're going to let yourself free flow and cartwheel.
If it gives me the +5 instead of +0, I'll take it.
Yay! Why is it in roll
Yeah.
20.
Nice.
Why is it
Did you
rolling
roll two?
2?
We will take the first.
know, but
Actually, let's not.
I didn't.
Yeah. Don't press it twice. Just press it the once.
Oh, no, I'll just press it once. It did the same with the last one as well.
You might be set on advantage, unless you have advantage. I'll check that with your character. Anyhow, yeah. Both of you, even with it's a short target number for yourself. Now that you're below the canopy, yeah, absolutely fine. You managed to get down there. You are now.
Is it like
a relatively solid trunk?
Is it like a forest kind of thing, or is this still resembling something underwater?
The best description I would say, yes, is very foresty like. It's very dark. There are loads of very thick tree trunks. You're talking some of these trees are maybe 30, 40, 50 feet wide, these trunks. Smallest you've seen are maybe 10, 20. They're quite compact and tight together. A lot of these branches moving out from these trunks will crisscross in a kind of like a lattice kind of pattern, which is somewhere where you'd be able to land. However, at this point, the both of you have managed to land onto a trunk. You'll have seen, and quite a hefty trunk is maybe about 15 wide, branch even 15 foot wide. So you've got enough room to be able to do what you need to do on there. However, you are now landed, and there is no sign of the remainder of your crew or your fellow adventurers.
I'll leave, but I'm gonna move away from Melgrim a little bit. I'm gonna like crawl over, still just on my hands and knees, over to like a bit of like the bark where the tree is, and just gonna put my back to it, and I'm just going to like Gaz is gonna be just panicking and just looking around because he's heard stories all of his life from just like the creatures that live below the canopy, and his eyes are just darting around, trying to look to see if he can see anything big that's going to try and eat him.
You right there, Sally?
Ladies and gentlemen, we're 40 minutes in. Sally has now lost herself at the words girthy and big. This is why
Sally's been losing herself for the past 10 minutes, if I'm correct.
This is the content people stay around for. Sally losing her shit over the innuendo.
Brilliant.
I'm so proud of you.
We're so proud. This is why you're here. You're a little ball of sunshine.
Just been dying to laugh. I could see it on her face. I was trying not to smile.
And
so
so
Leon said there was a fourth thing. It sounded like he said fourth thing.
You're laughing at that.
Nice.
Daphne's grief has not lasted very long.
Yeah, well, like Daphne's grief, yes, her grief did not last as long as we thought it might. Yes, Mr. Purple on the chat. Yeah, I love how you just joined with
I
the
saw
big
your
word,
face when he said that.
and big as our resident ball of sunshine laughs at the dirty toilet humour. Yes. That's only in her mind, by the way. It's only her that does this. It's only her good friend.
A little internal giggle.
Yeah. Anyhow, yes. So you are full of panic at this point, guys. Of course. Again, from the you've lived on the flotsam miles long enough. You've heard the tales from the other sailors and that they do float and travel across.
I'm going to instinctively grab my chest as if going for my amulet, and then I remember I've gave my amulet to Nim, and just yeah, like if Melgrim can see Gag right now, he's like fully hyperventilating.
I'm trying to hold on to the tree, and it's like, guys, don't panic. They can sense movement.
Silently hyperventilating.
I would absolutely
I love the yeah.
take a self-help class.
I love the fact that Melgrim is currently holding on to the trunk, not realizing that the branch he's on is 15 foot wide and is currently holding his weight. I'm not moving.
I've got my feet on the ground, but I'm like holding the tree like.
Yeah, you're trying to cuddle, you're trying to hug this 60-foot wide trunk of tree trunk.
Basically, like held up to a wall like this.
Yeah.
Can we see any creatures below the canopy?
Oh, make me a perception check if you wish.
I don't want to. I don't want to see
don't want
any.
to know.
Yeah, that's
take
probably
it back.
the wrong time to do this. Do I see anything? Oh, do you?
11. He's not very
For
perceptive.
the sake of your sanity, no, you do not see anything. It is very
Good.
dark. Actually, you should probably
One
be taking
time rolling
that,
in worst roll.
yeah, you should probably be taking that at disadvantage because you are human, Gaz, and you wouldn't get dark vision.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah. I'll roll out a disadvantage.
Not that it matters. You would have failed either way. So.
Yeah, we've got.
That's even worse. That's great. Okay.
Oh, Fluffagar, if only there were creepers.
We've got to find.
Who says it isn't? It's a homebrew world. I don't know. Do you? Well, I should know. It's my world.
Don't think I have any light spells. I'll take out my dagger and I'll cast Green Flame Blade on it to see if would that still light.
In theory, yes, it would light, and it would give you. I would say it would give you enough to give you about 5-foot radius cone. However, as you do you to explain how you cast the Green Flame Blade?
I would. I'm wearing kind of like purely like white, kind of like monkish robes, with some black kind of like trousers. And I take out from my monk robes a dagger, and I'll cut that on my hand, and the blood I'll just blow on it, and it'll just kind of ignite and kind of like a little green flame.
Yeah. So as you take the dagger out and you cut across your hand, with various many scars have been before. Every time you've done this, is the way it goes, and the blood trickles down and would usually ignite. However, it does not ignite this time. All you see is your blood trickling down the blade of your dagger.
I'm gonna try and put my dagger kind of slightly into my hand to open up the wound a little bit more to put more blood on it. And
Yes.
just see a bit more.
Yeah, no problem. If you roll a d4, you'll take that as slashing damage. However, if you do the same, it doesn't seem to cast.
1 damage.
Someone
Gaz,
do magic down here.
Gaz doesn't know how to process this. He's not sure. He'll say to Melgrim, I can't use my strength. I don't feel any power. I don't know what's happening to me.
We may be dead.
Milgram, helpful as always.
Quiet now, and I'm just going to sit and listen to hear the rest falling and hitting the wood to see if anyone falls near us.
Now, you're not allowed to be excited about this, Melgrim.
Yes. Make a perception check for me.
Hope this goes well. I bet it does.
Yeah, I think you're set on advantage. So if
Aye.
you go in and check just to make sure, if you click on, I can't remember how you do it in the D&D Beyond, but it will. If you hover over it and click to set advantage, you just put it on the normal. However, it doesn't matter because you rolled a 10 both times. Yeah, there is noises. They are reverberating around below the canopy. The ship, basically, from the ship you can hear falling and being sunken into the canopy of the Iron Oak Ocean itself. You hear a lot of other things. You can hear groans and moans of the trees kind of moving, separating as the rest of the carcass of the ship starts to fall below in and just kind of stop. However, you can't hear anything above that.
Can I see anything like nearby just from like my own vision? Because remember, I've got the dwarven.
Yeah, again with your dwarven, because you've got dark vision, it's halved now just because you're under the canopy. It's unnaturally dark, very unnaturally dark. Even but again, just from the description I gave from Daphne earlier, the light is just not piercing through the canopy below the Ionoc Ocean. It is something. If you've got light, maybe it'll increase your dark vision back up to its normal. But the dark vision right now is halved. You can only see 15 feet in front of you. However,
I'll grab a torch at that point.
yeah, so you start to light a torch. Light's fine, nothing, no problems with that. Again, however, you don't see much. You see the trunks, you see the trees, you see the lattice frameworks of vines, various leaves, just intertwining within each other to even just make some sort of kind of rudimentary things. However, there's not much else you can see.
I'm just going to put my hand on my sword and pull it out.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to yell, "Nim!"
You hear the echoes. Nim, 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 nim.
Vannon!
Vannon, Vannon, Vannon.
Hard!
I'll shout out the
Present. Normally just Bard just kind of reverberates around. It's almost as if it's bouncing back on you.
Daphne!
Daphne.
I'll go over to you,
Milgram, yes.
I'm just gonna say, sure, we don't want to cause too much attention to ourselves. Just
I
while
want to find
just
our
secrets like
friends. How do you suppose we find them?
I don't know, but I don't want something that's not our friends to find us. It's just a lot more likely down here than anyone else.
We're dead if we're not in a group.
But what can we do? We can't see in
Get
front
our
of us.
friends, stick together, and try and find a way out of here.
And your best tactic to do that is just shouting down here for them.
I can't see shit. I can't hear shit. So I need my friends to hear me.
We not just wait till it gets lighter? Surely it'll get lighter
Yes.
down here.
Of
Right.
course, look, the sun's right above our heads. I'm sure it'll be over any second now.
Oh, I mean, so it's just like this constantly then.
Yes.
Oh,
We
God.
are pretty much dead.
Gaz, yeah, you'll know this as well from your stories and that. It says, it's pretty much like this all the time. If even at high noon, it's always that dark. And you don't even know if it's going to get darker when it does get dark.
Oh, okay. No!
Go hard or go home.
As it starts to reverberate around again, just seems to bounce back on you.
I like to think the music is just like for the bard. He's like, wow,
Yeah.
that's a good song.
So as we'll cut from there, from Gaz quietly panicking to himself, Daphne, you will have heard the Nim, but then we'll come back to you in a minute from Gaz. However, we now have two others who, again, from what you remember from the ship as it kind of bombed in, you jumped before it broke, with Sir Janice seeing Daphne diving in after Nim, being, for lack of a better word, regurgitated and vomited out of the Kraken's mouth at the point. She just dove in, spread her wings to try and get in as quickly as possible before Nim hit the canopy. She just hit the canopy as she caught her. From there, Sir Janice quickly and reactively just cast a quick feather fall in his reaction just to keep everyone safe as you, Ralph, and Sir Janice dove in after them. generally in their area. You're maybe about 15 feet away from the entry point, simply because you're starting to float down. Again, same way that Gaz and Melgrim have entered the canopy. Surprisingly soft and buoyant, is not very solid. As you start to cross through it, and you can feel, it's almost as if you can feel things wrapping around you, but it's unearthly, unnatural, as the flora and fauna just kind of try and take over. But it's nothing malicious in it. It's basically being enveloped in water, hence the Iron Oak Ocean. A couple of minutes later, you start to come out from under and below the canopy itself, and again you get the same description as we gave to Gaz and Melgrim. You are in a horrible dark forest. Your area is pretty cold though, very, very cold, very dark. Do you have dark vision? I think you're a half orc anyway, so you will have dark
Yeah.
vision, Dav. Can't remember if the turtles do.
I don't know, light.
Yeah, what you casting light on?
I pull a torch from my pack, but rather than light it, I just light, because
Yeah.
I'll be able to switch it out immediately.
No bother. So Sir Janice, you will have your full dark vision at this point now. You will have vision up to a point, Ralph, as you start to float down. Again, the noises around you can hear the ship being slowly sunk and swallowed into the canopy itself. Interestingly enough, you can't see the rest of the ship. In fact, interestingly enough, you can't see the body of the Kraken. You reckon it maybe either still attached to the ship and the death throes it was as it started to constrict and coil around the ship itself. However, that's not your pressing concern as you look down and you can't see anything. You can't even see any floor. Wherever you are, you can't see a lot. However,
Sorry, just so I understand. So I'm with Bard and Vannon. Okay,
no,
that's fine.
Vannon is not there. Vannon is
Vannon's
nowhere.
not with us, okay.
Yeah, you've seen
So just
Vannon
me and Sir
fly off.
Francis then, yeah?
Yeah, Vannon flew off in a different direction, as did Gaz and Melgrim. They flew off quite separate, just from because they were at the front of the ship as it cracked in on itself and just flung them. You managed to jump off just before that, which was your deck saves.
Okay.
So,
while I was coming down, I was trying to keep eyes as much as I could on Nim and Daphne, and if not them, something that shows me which way they've been. Bits of cloak getting caught. I know that would have been hard, but what I'm basically looking for is to work out what way I would have went and what direction I'll head as soon as I get to the ground.
to be fair, with Featherfall, you do have time to do that kind of thing. I wouldn't say it was an investigation check, but you can certainly be allowed to do a perception check if you wish. Just yourself, though. What would you like to do, Sir Janice?
At this point in time, I'm just trying to. I'm not aware of any of the danger going on, so I'm just trying to look as majestic as possible as I come down. I'm trying to float down as if I am a flying squirrel.
And then 3-point landing at the end, obviously.
Naturally,
Yeah.
super landing all the way.
Yeah, I get that. I would want to say performance check, but maybe an acrobatics check.
Dang. Okay, let's see what we get today.
And yeah, Ralph, if you could give us a perception check.
What I'll do, obviously, once I land on the ground, I'm not even trying to look. I bang into some things. I hit the ground. I hit the shoulder. I immediately just push myself back up, and I hold on to my kind of not totem, my religious symbol that I use, which kind of been a bit enhanced, and I hold it to my chest and I say, "To Lady of the Ocean, please bring me to my friends." And I dump my D8, what I can use once a day, into it.
Yes.
And so as it kind of lightly glows, the feather kind of takes on like more of a sheen to it. So just get me to the friends that I have lost right now. And then I'm rolling. What is it? Did you say an investigation or perception?
Perception check, and then add a D8 to it because you're using your once a day ability on your new, your souped up. Holy.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh god. Although
13.
that's not bad considering that was a good use of the D8.
Considering you rolled a 2.
Yes.
His natural failure points him to Melgrim.
It takes you a while, Ralph.
Why do you despise me, lady? Why have you brought me to my worst enemy? Strike him now,
Ralph. It takes you a while, simply because you're floating, you're going, and then you've got this foot and then this hand hitting off the back of your head as Sir
Nim's
Janice
just
cartwheeling
disembodied leg.
slightly just out of the way, and then he comes back round and he starts to float around. You're going, oh, for God's sakes. But eventually, the guiding light of your patron, well, your deity even, shall we say in patron's something different. The deity, you see and just this little light fly off, and you can. It's takes a while before the little light lands, and then just dissipates on this very strange platform. The platform is particularly strange because it looks rudimentally made and is very much made of old ships and things. Something similar to the description I'd given Daphne with the one she landed on. As a little light lands and just kind of ripples out like a droplet within water. There is nothing on the platform, but there is a platform there nonetheless.
So look at this is something that's been constructed down here by someone else.
Without getting, well, you get a wee bit closer
Ralph
to
says
see.
aloud, "This appears to be constructed down here by someone else. However, I do not have time for this. I'm looking for my
Gamers.
friends."
Yeah. You'll as you do look, it's rudimentary. It is possible it may have just came out to be a part of the ship. It's also possible that someone has made it. You can't tell from this distance, but it is solid ground. It's probably the best place to go.
Yeah, if it's a vantage point, I'm going to try and get up to it. Is there like a rope to it, a ladder? Do I have to climb? I can't imagine climbing
No,
the
you're
tube.
still
easy.
floating at this point down, and you've got very little time to make it. Yeah, if you could both make me, well, no, we'll
I
I'll
know, yeah,
say Janice has disadvantage because of his poor attempt at trying to make majestic. We'll call this athletics if you want to swim. If you want to
okay,
be more majestic, you certainly can do acrobatics, so Mr. Janice.
Mine are both terrible, but
that
I
would-
will. I'll
Yeah.
dump a guidance into it, just a regular one.
Fucking clerics, man.
Jesus, I'm terrible at that. So yeah, that doesn't matter. I'm fucked. I kept 6. Oof.
You start to make your way over. It'll be interesting to see how Sir Janice works this.
We're both looking at. I'm looking forward to this too.
Our 14 viewers are also. Oh!
He smashed it, mate.
17.
And now disadvantage.
And now the to be fair, his acrobatics. Oh,
Fair
22.
enough. Fair
No,
enough.
that's
Starts
a
looking majestic now.
Yeah, you
There we
see
go.
Ralph. Surprisingly for a turtle, he's not the best of swimmers. But then you remember there's very little bodies of water to swim. So swimming is not a concept in this land, much.
If this was water, I'd be killing it. Okay, I just have
Yeah,
you
if
know.
it was
as a-
water though, he would be killing it because it is
Yeah.
water land and where he comes from. But however,
Yes.
Wishes
he's
were
very
up.
slow. Yeah, very much a turtle on land. Very slow, very methodical. As you go, boom, and you kind of just land on him, go into a 360 spin, as you start to spiral towards it at speed.
Can I grab out to his leg as he's pushed off, being kind of like just kind of
Yeah.
just kinda,
With 22 as well, and it was acrobatics. You land perfectly. You kind of just as you're about to land, you let go of him. He skids. Ralph skids onto his shell and spins a little bit forward 5 feet as you stop
I
in
actually fully
midair.
retract into the shell when that
Yeah.
happens. Oh, shit.
As Sir Janice lets go, rights himself right, does a couple of somersaults, and then boom, lands in a hero pose, and
I
no
can
one's
hear
seen it.
the applause in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all creaks and groans of the woods. Yeah, you take it. You take applause where you get it. Yeah.
It's just Mousy going, yay.
Mousy, for those of you who don't know, is a character that's no longer in the game.
Not anymore.
No.
Or is
Nope.
he? Mousey's a big
Is
bad.
they? Is they?
Yeah, Mousey's a big bad. I forgot to tell you.
Maybe
Oh,
Nim is going to play Mousy from now on.
maybe Nim was Mousey all along.
Yes.
Dun, dun.
So yeah, you land perfectly. Unfortunately, Ralph didn't even get to see it because he decided to retreat into his shell as he pops out just as the moment as you stop the pose.
Great. So we will land it. Brilliant. And then I'm just going to look around for
Yes,
my friends.
fine.
I don't really care about what he's doing.
What was that you said, David?
I did say yes. I did land brilliantly. Thank you for noticing.
Cool. Guiding bolt. Um,
At this point, both of you, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
is this an air-related thing? Because I can hold my breath for an hour.
You certainly can. If you wish to do that, then we will say, yeah, you don't need to take it now if you don't want to. Yes. Okay.
I can still talk. Though. I'm
hold
just
breath.
holding, I don't really know
yeah.
how that works. It seems weird.
It's kind of like an air sac. Yeah, you're fine, Janice. You spent most of your time within the Freighter Slux Temple below the mountains. In fact, that's where your companions had met you previously in the dungeons there. So you've been used to being below. Yeah, so you pass fine. No need to roll again until you exit. You sure you don't want to do it now, Ralph? I mean, that's an hour's okay. However, you're on this rudimentary platform.
Yeah. Is it obviously connected to the tree, or does it look like it got caught?
It's. And you can make an investigation check now if you wish.
Doop, 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 doop. Sweet lady, get me with this.
Guidance. Goddamn clerics.
Chat,
Chat, if you agree with me on this. Clerics, man.
Clerics are
Hold on.
OP.
22.
Monks are OP, to be fair.
I, for one, really dislike clerics. Except when I'm playing clerics, then they're amazing.
Yeah. Hey, clerics. Chat, help me up in here. Clerics.
Just to clarify, anyone ever watched this, Scott has actually rolled a save against getting guidance before.
Yeah, he doesn't like it. He doesn't. There's a history there. You may or may not find out this
You might
episode.
pick up on this subtle
The
subtle
salt.
animosity between the characters at some point during the game as we
It's
try
very
to kill each
subtle.
other.
It's very hidden. Yeah. Not only do you do that, in fact, I'll see with that natural 20. I'll give us a history roll or survival, your choice.
I'm proficient in both, however, I'll do it in survival because my survival is better.
Okay.
16.
Yeah, this is definitely, it's not man-made. Probably the best way I could tell you. Because man is human.
You just mean intelligent humanoid. That's all you mean by man. Let's just
it's,
settle down.
Sentience has made this.
Yeah.
As something here has been purposely put here. And then you start to remember back from the stories, even from back in the day when you heard that bard singing on the Flotsam Isles about the ode or the tale of the Lancer, about the attack from the Kreen, or the Kreen, as we would know for people watching, the Three Kreen, who reside within the canopies, or tribes of them have known to reside. You think this might be some of their handiwork. Not only that, with the natural 20 on the investigation, remembering back to the conversation you had with Captain Tinning up on the Broken Oar, they didn't just say they were attacked by the Kraken. The Kraken had a go at the Broken Oar at the time, but it retreated. However, the Three Kreen were also there at one point and ambushed them, which had done more damage to the boat, to the ship, which meant they couldn't repair it as well. So when you got back with the relevant materials to try and help, that's when the Kraken attacked for the second or third time. Yeah, so this looks, it's rudimentary, but it looks maybe like a staging post or somewhere where the Three Kreen can keep an eye on things.
I will relay the information to Sir
Because it's an
Janice.
investigation as well, as you start to notice, you start to look around. Even though it's quite dark, you start to notice vantage points. Even above you, there is some more of these platforms. This looks pretty well done.
I'll point out to Janice, this appears to be some area, perhaps. And I'm thinking back to whether we were on shipping lanes or not. I wonder if the Queen have these kind of lands along where we ship most of our goods. A lot of attacks happen in the water.
So you're telling me that we're standing literally in the bases of the things that have been attacking us?
Think of it more as a staging pole. This could be used for a month and then abandoned for years, or it could be used every month. I don't know. But looking around here, from the nat 20, is it fairly well maintained? Does it look like that's?
It's not well maintained. It's been built for purpose. That is it.
This,
However,
yeah.
from that conversation of you're saying, and you were asking about the shipping lanes, if you remember, you had to go off the shipping lanes because you were looking for a specific island for the Freighter Slux Temple, as you were looking for your companions.
Yeah, I'll relay that. Yeah, based upon this is perhaps an old one, but I see more, and they'll be like the unnatural shapes I can maybe see through the light of the canopy. That like there and there.
Yeah, as for
They-
the little light that was coming through, and again just from investigation, you start to realise that this is actually not a bad place, because you can start to see parts of the ship kind of bulging just below the canopy now, and then you start to see bits as the light creaks through from that bulge. You start to see bits where you're going, right, this is so that they've either just previously built them, or they've been here a while, and it's just like guard outposts or places where if there happens to be something, they go right, bang, we'll hit it.
Hmm. We should move though, because perhaps the ship crashing spooked them, but we need to move. And based on where I can see the ship coming down, I want to head towards where the best guess as to where Daphne and Nim landed. And I am bellowing. I can't shout in this accent, unfortunately.
No.
It doesn't work. So
Yeah. So as Ralph starts to go, and you hear as you hear the familiar voice of your colleague, Gaz. Just as you're about to start, you hear Gaz's voice reverberating. Yeah.
Head away from Gaz's voice. I think Melgrim was with him, so let's leave them. Let's leave them at that. They're on their own.
I don't give a shit about him.
Give us a wisdom
Hopefully.
saving throw.
With me?
Yeah.
I would not really abandon Gaz.
That's not what I'm rolling for.
But
You do what you want. Mate. Do what you want.
That was
do the fuck you want.
It's fair.
I know you've got your issues with him, but he is still on our side for now, at the very least. And Gaz is out there as well. We have to help him.
If I can say if I'll use a necromancy, I will do it in front of his face. But then I'm just gonna just getting towards where I did, and I will continue shouting. I will shout for every 4 or 5 times I shout now and Daphne, I'll go Gaz, and then every 27th time I shout, I'll go Melgrim, and then I'll
Yeah.
Melgrim, go the other way, Melgrim.
You start shouting before you start shouting for Melgrim.
As you start to walk away, you see a faint glow in the distance.
I would also be shouting Van, and sorry, Jim, I forgot you were here because of my hatred of Melgrim. And I also care about you.
Funnily enough, you do see a familiar glow of it seems like some sort of kind of I don't want to say holy, because that's probably the wrong thing. It's more like of a kind of
Radiance.
Radiance. Yes, that's a great word, Jim. Welcome to the show, Jim. Sorry about that.
How then?
I know. We're in. We've yet to introduce you. Which we will come to now. Actually, we discussed this, Jim. Do you want to play a bit of Van in the now, or would you rather leave it on open-ended?
I'll play a bit of Van until his demise.
Okay. Let's do this.
What do you mean by his demise, Jim? What are you talking about?
Spoiler alert.
As you're flung from the ship, you start to see in the distance Gaz and Melgrim going in one direction. You go, oh no, and you start to and as soon as you hit. Unfortunately, you hit the canopy just as the featherfall goes off. Bang! You hit the canopy. It hurts you. You will take, because this is basically a big belly flop. You're a dwarf. You take 2 points of bludgeoning. As you start to fall, and then all of a sudden you slow down as you feel some sort of magical aura surround you and start to float you and pull you into the Iron Oak Ocean's canopy. As you start to float down, you, however, takes a couple of minutes to go through. It takes you a wee bit quicker because you've already hit the canopy. So after a minute, you're under, and then it's just dark. You see exactly the same description as others. However, it's very sparse, very sparing. It is very, very much very dark. There's less lattice kind of patterns for places to sit. There's, interestingly enough, not a lot of
see with dark vision.
Your dark vision will be down to 15 foot now
Yeah.
because you've not got light unless you have something that would be able to create light or a spell of such.
I do have green flame blade with my sword.
Yeah, if you want to do that.
I'll do that then.
Yep. So your sword goes off and it lights up. Dun dun dun. As the light starts, as the flame goes off, you start to light. We'll say, for purposes of this point, because we know what's happening or what may or may not be coming.
Yeah.
There's no shame in it. Sometimes just the green flame doesn't just bring up.
As you start to float, you see there's no lattice patterns, very little trunks and branches that you're able to grab onto. In fact, it's quite sparse. As you look around, you see between you is maybe 60, 100 feet between trunks. This is a huge gaping maw. It is something that you're looking at and going, shit, I need to you need to swim quick. You start to panic. What do you do?
I'm going to try and sort of get myself in a position where I'm flying like a skydiver and try and maneuver myself into near enough a trunk or branch and get my sword and try and slow my descent with the sword.
Okay.
Like as if I'm trying to
I
go
get you.
down.
So first off, give us an athletics check just to see if you're able to kind of doggy paddle or swim your way across to the nearest.
Jim is going to go and just out to find out why they're called iron oak trees.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
No, it's a great idea. It's just going to be really funny.
Yeah. Right. So what check, sorry, again?
An athletics check.
Like
That iron oak, it needs to be. Sorry.
So you're starting to swim. By your reckoning, I think you're also proficient in Arcana, right?
No, yeah, but no, I'm not.
No, you're not. Okay, so you start swimming. You're going, oh god, this is well. At least I'm floating. And then all of a sudden, click. It's just oh fuck as you start to fall at quite a distance. It feels like forever. It does. It gets darker and darker as the green flames start to dissipate and fly and just snuff itself out. You think it's over, and then all of a sudden, just something in the side of you catches you. Just this huge, dark, black, spongy thing just catches you, just pulls you down in towards it. Everything gets darker and black. Make me a wisdom saving throw. Yeah, that's a fail. From that, as you're getting pulled closer to whatever source this thing is, it's just shot out towards you. You start to hear things in your head, the voices, familiar voices. Nim's voice comes into your head. You left me alone, Vannon. How could you do that? And then all of a sudden you hear Gazzy's voice. God, why did you leave me alone? We're here. You've left us here to die. Start to hear Melgram's. You hear Daphne's. You hear Ralph's. You hear the bards as well. But you don't really pay much attention to the bard because the bard's a bard.
Yeah.
Whatever. You left me here. Though. You don't care about the bard.
Be like I'm sorry, and Melgrim comes, screw you, Melgrim.
As soon as you say "screw you, Melgrim," a familiar voice comes into your head. It's the voice of one of your family members. It's a cousin, your cousin, the cousin that was the cousin that brought shame upon your family and who was arrested by the very watchers that the Melgrim worked for. Turns and says, "You let me die, Vannon.
I didn't let you die.
You could have saved me." As you start to get pulled quicker and quicker into wherever the source of this thing is, and then all of a sudden, just caught, and everything goes black. Daphne.
Just got is this the first and last stream of this session?
Yes.
You're all dying. What's going on here? Welcome to the death of all our characters.
Well, this is an ego trip for the DM. Let's be honest.
Yes, it is.
So, Daphne,
Like Daphne, don't kill her.
you hear the big shout of "Nam" from your colleague. you're not kind of fond of, but Gaz, you recognise it as Gaz.
You're not fond of.
Ah, well, not a lot of people seem to be fond of Gaz for some reason. I think he's okay.
Nim liked him.
Hey,
We're off in
I'm
Leon.
I don't like him.
diplomatic, I'm fine. I think
I'm
I
gonna
get
like,
it.
I don't like the person. I'm
I
sorry,
think
great.
Bannon's I think Gaz is a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Looks too
scream
common.
his name back to him, like, I'm here. And I think I've got a light spell actually.
You do as an Asthma, yeah, you'll have
Would
a...
You
we?
do.
Yeah.
However, that you don't need to cast it because your armor has got that has basically effectively got a glow on it of 20 feet, and it's
Can
kind
I
of a
shoot
radiant
it? You know, like a flare.
armor. Now,
Just throw
That's
a piece of
it is a good idea. Now you do have a weapon that does that. Remember, from the bracers on your armor, you could effectively use that as a flare.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to do that? So, for purposes of the descriptions of the people, for all of a sudden, the Samar will stand up with her radiant, goldish, bronzish armor, pulls aside her cloak to show these bracers, and just scrapes it across. As she pulls it across, within her right hand, a small disc with a ball, what seems to be of like radiant white lightning. You now have a ball of radiant white lightning. It gives off a 5-foot glow. Where are you throwing it?
I'm going to throw it in the direction of Gaz's voice. And
Excellent.
fingers crossed I don't hit him.
Make me an investigation check.
Oh,
You're-
shit. I'm sorry.
Make an investigation check to see if you can kind of deduce where it's came from, because the sound
Right.
is echoing and reverberating around.
I'll show them what I cast that light.
yes.
Oh, then that 20s are on
20.
form.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Ooh, yeah.
Please don't
First
do a
stream of the
critical hit on
game.
me.
First stream of the live. We've got 1, 2,
First stream of the game.
Like
3,
4 nat 20s or something.
5 nat 20s. That is good, guys. You're doing
That's
well.
unheard
Yeah.
of in our games.
Use them all up, mate.
Does
That's them.
usually hate me.
Yeah.
Daphne, you
always
start
that.
to panic. You start to realise, I need to find them. And you go, oh God, God. And then you start to calm, and then you start to hear a voice in the back of your head, a familiar voice, going, it's okay, my child. Just trust in us. Trust in the Lux. And we will never, ever leave your side. And all of a sudden you open your eyes and you just throw it through everything. It misses every branch, every lattice work, every trunk as you see the light coming. Gaz, you see the light coming.
And I don't mean going back.
Melgrim, there's a bright light coming
I'm
towards
literally
us.
jumping out of the way. Assuming they're under attack.
It's not stopping.
15 feet just in front of you, it dissipates. You recognise that. You've seen that weapon used before.
I go straight towards it.
Yeah. Melgrim, you also have seen this weapon used before. You know who that is.
I'll just kind of like get off the ground and be like, oh, wait.
Yeah, you start to head towards it. Sir Janice, Ralph, you also see this light. It's not coming towards you, however, you see a light from the left-hand side going to the right and then dissipate.
Just angled to go to where it was coming from.
Yeah, okay.
Because that was something I've seen her through the light before, so it's like, well, it came for that direction. So again, just
Yeah. So,
Daphne, yeah.
Melgrim, Gaz, Ralph, Sir Janice, you have a choice of athletics or acrobatics to walk or run or make your way across the branches, the various lattice works.
I will be doing acrobatics, which I'm almost as terrible at as athletics.
I will also do it.
Let me guess, you're going to guide. Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah,
Everything you got to get, I know. Oh, another nat 20. What the fuck?
I don't even get that
Go to
20
the twenties tonight.
Hey, there's a nat 1 there at least, thank God.
Thank God someone gets to die.
Plus 7's acrobatics, Jesus.
Yeah.
I was a 15, so
It makes sense. It kind of checks out, and the best acrobatics person here, and he gets a nat 1. Yeah, Melgrim, you're bounding. Even with your short dwarven legs, you actually overtake Gaz at points. However, Gaz is keeping up with you. He's just, oh, no, don't, as Gaz starts.
Oh no,
He's
you
with
don't, you little prick.
yeah, you goddamn motherfucker. Smart ass motherfucker. Ralph, again, being a turtle on land, is slow lumbering. Janice is
15's not bad. I'm just going to say that. 15 is pretty good, actually. That's better than 10.
Then Sir Janice overtakes you, Ralph, and you're seeing him bouncing off leaves, and hey, this is actually pretty cool. And then all of a sudden, something grabs him from the air. It literally just grabs him.
I better deal with that.
Does
I
Ralph see
turn
that?
around. What has grabbed him? Do I have to deal with this? Is it like
Yeah, from the looks of it, it looks like some sort of trap. It looks like a Venus
Oh.
flytrap.
Okay, Sacred Flame. Sacred Flame.
Yeah, cast Sacred Flame. Then go on.
Whatever's caught him's got to do the dexterity saving throw of 15.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Take
Yep.
2d8 damage. Stupid plant.
Would we hear?
I'm trying to save my friends here, plant. I can't leave this idiot. He saved me.
Yeah, okay, it hits. Yeah.
-2.
-5. That was a -5. You get a -2 on that.
Yes,
13
-2.
damage.
Yeah. It just starts to burn as you see. Boom! You land right in front of Ralph.
Don't
Janice.
know this.
Jack,
How
are
is it
you
I
done?
only roll great when no one has seen me?
Yeah,
Every
this
single
is like every performance artist. You're great singing in the shower, but when you put up a microphone and karaoke, you're fucked.
Yeah, I kind of like help him back to his feet, and like, could you look out for the whatever, and just keep going. Just come on.
Don't leave me behind.
I'm not leaving you, man. Just get on your feet. Come on.
So we'll say because of that interruption, Melgrim and Gaz will get to Daphne first. Daphne, you'll see Gaz and Melgrim you'll see them in the distance. You start to see the bright light as you're following it, and then bang, you're on the platform.
Oh, thank God we found one of these. Oh, how are you?
How are you, Daphne?
They say to Daphne.
Daphne.
I'm here.
Are you
I wasn't on
injured?
Facebook at all.
Sorry, I was advertising the thing.
I thought you were doing that intentionally like that then.
You're advertising, right?
Oh no.
Watch me be distracted. And
I'm busy advertising the thing that I'm doing right
Sign
now.
up for the
Sorry,
Sanity Check
Daphne,
Gaming catalog and calendar we're doing for 2024.
Sorry, Daphne, I forgot about your part-time advertising job. How are you? I'm so happy to see you. I give her a massive hug over her armor.
Yeah.
I literally crumple to the floor as soon as I see you.
Yeah.
You
Even
can't
with Daphne
even
on your
console me.
knees, even with Daphne on her knees, she's about your height, Gaz. So boom. Yeah.
The
It's not hard
shaky
to tell.
hands. I literally give Gaz the necklace. The what's it called? Pendant. No.
It's an amulet.
Gaz, you
Talisman.
recognise the amulet right away.
Oh, my talisman. Thanks. I gave this to Nim.
I know you did.
Where?
I couldn't save her. She's dead. I tried. I tried to do my best.
What-
I
what do you-
couldn't. I could.
What do
Guys.
you mean you couldn't save her?
As soon as you say that, you can look over Daphne's shoulder and you can see what seems to be some sort of rudimentary wooden tomb, round about the size of a half-orc paladin that you once knew as Nim.
I kind of as if I don't like see anybody or anything right now. Gaz just sees the grave and he just begins walking over to that.
Okay. As you start to walk slowly over to it, a familiar voice in the back of your head, Gaz. Oh well. Sometimes these things happen.
No, they don't. She had the talisman. I gave it to her so that she'd be okay.
Oh, dear boy. This isn't how this works. This works for you and you alone. This was never meant for anyone else.
then why give me it? Why tell me to meet these people? This isn't what we do. This isn't what you promised you'd do. You promised that you'd help me. She has the
Exactly,
talisman, and that means that she's meant to be okay.
my dear boy.
I'm
I
gonna go down
promised.
to my knees now.
I promised to help you, and Nim has served a purpose.
But what's the point of this? I thought that you did this because you wanted them to be okay.
My dear boy, Nim has served her purpose.
No, she didn't. She was my friend.
And it's silence completely from there. You don't hear anything else from the voice.
No, that not this time. You don't just go quiet on me this time. You tell me why you did this. You tell me why you let her die. I'm not gonna go any further without any answers. I'm done now. You tell me this. You tell me why you're doing this to me. Well, you've done this to me my entire life. You guys, I'm not saying this just completely out loud.
Melgrim, Daphne, you will be hearing this. Ralph, Sir Janice, you come in around about this time. Gaz,
I'm going to
still
kind of like
silence.
rip off a wee bit of my sleeve and just kind of like hand it out to Daphne and like get a wee pat on the shoulder.
Ralph, Sir Janice, as you come round, you'll see a distraught Daphne, and even worse, Gaz, and you'll see Melgrim surprisingly keeping it together because he's an emotionless, heartless bastard.
Yeah, he's our emotional, heartless bastard.
Yes, he is our
soon to be murdered
D&D
by
party
me.
needs a heartless bastard.
Yeah. The practical one, we call him.
So yeah,
we'll abandon the NPCs. We were like, no, we need to save them. No, we don't.
So we come to Ralph and Janice as you walk in.
Ralph looks around him and he runs over at Daphne and just kind of like grabs her, and just kind of like holds her for a second.
As he's doing the run up and surprisingly hug Melgrim. I did not expect to see you.
Weirdly, on my run to Daphne, I actually veered round Melgrim.
Melgrim was handing a bit of some sort of tissue to Daphne. You just run up and with the big arms open, you knock Melgrim to the side as he's bombing you. You hug Daphne. So Janice will go. What do you say as you run up to Melgrim?
I say, I didn't expect to see you again, you glorious bastard.
It's just because you have hugged him, you all like feel that he is actually like a little bit tense in general, and he's not like moving much.
He accepts the hug grudgingly.
Begrudgingly. That's a grudging.
I was going to say it's more that he does actually seem upset in his own way.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. I was going to say we're getting on the silly levels, but hey, if you're definitely upset, that makes sense. You will also notice this, Ralph. It's not hard to notice. I
didn't really veer around, but I was just being silly. I did run by.
No, it's fine. That is character. We like it.
Okay, fine. Yeah,
fuck you. That sets up for the viewers to catch us next week.
Ooh.
What will happen? Come back from like Ralph's shoulder, like his hug, and I'm just like, is Gaz okay? And sort of look round at Gaz and slowly but surely.
So what would Gaz be doing at this point as they look round?
Gaz is on his knees in front of the grave, and he's visually distraught, but also like not really sure how to deal with the emotions, so he's not really showing it except from him crying, and he's going to keep his talisman in one hand, and he's just gonna move his hand to try and actually kind of like dig up the dirt a little bit. He's right now digging up the grave.
Yeah, there is not so much dirt at this point. There's like a small wooden tomb So it's not much to take open, and as you start to take away bits of the wood, there is Nim, gloriously laid to rest within her armor, her great sword lying across her chest. Interestingly enough, Daphne would have been doing some. Actually, give us a religion check,
Me.
Gaz. No, Daphne, you'll know.
What Lee's wondering, and not Ralph, is if anyone remembered it was Nim that had the bag of holding filled with money on her.
Well, as you start to look
Ralph
over,
Milgram
you feel
too.
something press against your leg, Ralph. It happens to be the bag of holding.
Interesting. Ralph has no interest in this blood money. However, Lee has a great deal of interest in
Yeah.
this money.
Religion, you done, for you know of the Freightus Lux. This seems to be whatever way she's been prepared to the best of Daphne's abilities, and whatever she had on her. This seems to be something she's been laid to rest in some sort of burial way that the Freightus Lux usually do. You'd also know that most of the time, 9 times out of 10, it's usually cremation. However, you quickly deduce you're in a forest surrounded by wood. Although the iron oaks are impervious to the fire, I like to say they're quite solid masses of trees that cannot be shaped or fashioned in any other sort of way. The wood you're currently on is not such, so it's a good. This is probably why she's been put a tomb around her.
I will look at my talisman, which is in the shape of a kind of unusual beast with 3 eyes, and 2 of them amber, 1 of them kind of emerald green, and I'll kind of almost damage the talisman a little bit. I'll rip off 1 of the amber kind of gems, and I'm gonna place it over on Nim's forehead, and just go wait to. Right now I'm completely just no emotion on my face at this point. I'm just gonna try and see if anything happens.
See, as he's doing this,
We need to
now,
find Vannon.
you mentioned that I did see I felt the bag of holding pressing against me. Ralph takes a step back and says, "I need to see this," and he grabs it and sticks his hands in it. Now, canonically, we actually found some diamonds, didn't we?
Yes, you did.
So I pull out the diamonds, and I barge past and I run over to Nim's corpse and I quickly, "Please let this work." And I put my hand in my pocket. I draw some kind of wavy lines that, if anyone knew what the ocean looked like, would be an indication of what the ocean looked like. And I flick under her eyes, and I put them in her chest, and I hold them to her chest. "Please, my lady, bring my friend back to me. I can't, not ready to leave her."
Okay.
And there's a glowing light in my hands. Like you see Ralph tears start to stream down his face. "Come on, just give me this. Take everything you have to take from me.
Let the dead rest.
Fuck you, Malcolm! I will kill you!"
Shut up, Malcolm.
Please, don't take anything from me. Take any abilities I may have. I don't care what I lose. Any gods that are here, take this from me. And there's some glow in my hands, and he pulls it away, and the diamonds are gone. But he couldn't touch. His god wouldn't do this, but he burned everything he had. All his spell slots are gone. All his channel divinities are gone. Everything he had is gone.
Oh shit!
And you see him grey, and he takes it. "I'm so sorry, Nim." And he grabs her and holds him to his chest, and he just starts bawling. And he just rolls down sobs.
So as you do that, as you put the diamond, you see the diamonds fall away down in the dust, and you just pick them up, and you realise what's happened is within your hands. You start to hear a voice just kind of just blow by in the within the language of Aquarian, the Aquarian language that you and your turtle friends are known to speak, and it's just 2 words. They ring over and ring hollow. Not worthy.
She is not worthy of neither of any of us. She was the best amongst us. And that's just
Oh.
in amongst kind of like
Are
sobs and
you
raspy
saying that in
coughing.
Aquarian or are you
I
talking in
say it
common?
in I say it fully in
Yeah.
Aquarian, so I'm not sure what
Um,
Aquarian sounds like. But it's a weird,
yeah.
some weird
As
noises
you-
from it.
Like
As you,
dolphin roar,
as you're
roar,
talking
roar.
and bargaining, yeah,
No,
even with the bargaining,
it's a really nice sounding language. It's more like kind of singing.
oh,
It's like
actually,
Minion.
I've just made myself sad. I just made myself sad. The voice, no, we'll get to that anyway.
Yeah.
We're live streaming,
Yeah,
the game. Anyhow,
Serious.
I'd like
Yeah.
to.
Even
Feel
with
bad
the
for me.
bargaining, even with the bargaining in Aquarian, you just keep hearing it's just not worthy, not worthy, not worthy, not worthy. You don't know if this is your deity. You don't know what this is. The words ring hollow in your ears, but they speak volumes right now as the diamonds just start to crumble away to dust.
Mhm.
Not worthy.
I'm there for a while. I don't move. If anyone tries to move me, I shrug them off.
I'd
Fair
like to walk over to Ralph and just kind of. I'll now like kneel down beside him and I'll put my hands just on his shell and I'll say, I'm sorry, Ralph.
Ralph kind of take one arm and he'll pull Gaz into himself and say, "It was none of your fault, my friend. I
wasn't my
wasn't strong
fault.
enough to save her."
I wasn't strong enough to save her. We both need to be better, you know. So this can't happen again.
You're right.
We
From
both
now
can
on,
do it.
No, go. You go.
We both can do it. You know, we both have the potential.
You're right. We will fight without restrictions. And I glance at Melgrim. I say when I say without restrictions, I will not let people's petty views hold me back from what needs to be done.
Are
Well,
you
This
aware
is-
of how she died?
you tried
Can
to
you see
abuse
it?
the laws of magic to bring somebody back to life and you weren't even successful. Maybe your god's a
Melgrim.
bit fed up with you wasting your magic.
Melgrim, I'm going to say this to you one time. You've saved my life before. Let me save yours and listen to me. Shut up.
Well, we're all sitting here. Vannon's still to be found. Every second we're down here, we're all at risk of following them.
Ralph does look up when he says that Vannon's not, and he looks around for Vannon.
Indeed, Vannon is not around.
He's right.
It's funny how I'm the only one that thought of him.
Oh, I love this.
I want to turn around and smack him with my wing and be like, "Excuse me, this is
Yes.
Yeah. Well, actually,
Slap with the wing.
Daphne.
Yes.
In fact, if you really want to do that, make a wisdom saving throw.
Do you want to do that because
Yeah,
it's
that's
me.
fine. Make a saving throw.
Oh, no,
It's
that's not
going to
right.
be it will be a low target number. That's pretty good.
Oh fuck!
It doesn't matter.
You
You go flying, mate. See you later.
yeah, you're hit with a
Oh,
wing.
Strand.
It's almost like a soft brush because you stop yourself from going further, Daphne, as you realise again from previous history and family when you were dealing with her and when you heard your family talking to you when you were looking to fire the flare off. This isn't the way. He says the thing about your version of the Freight Slux, the original, the OG, we'll call it. This happens. Death is inevitable. Everyone eventually ends up, apart from those fucking elves. But anyway, and there's very few of them about. Within the religious teachings, even Melgrim touches upon it. There is more pressing matters. How are you supposed to live? How's the memory of Nim supposed to live on if yous are all dead not to remember her? And with that, your thoughts go to Vannon and realise that you're a man down, or a dwarf down, a good dwarf down at that.
Where was the last time I seen Vannon? Because as soon as Nim went over the edge, Daphne went, then me, and then I went with the
Yeah.
Bard.
Well,
Where was Vannon at that
the
point?
chronological timeline is when you struck the final blow, Ralph, on the Kraken. The Kraken went weird up and
Yeah.
just vomited out Nim at the point, and she was flying across. Daphne jumped in with her 1 minute wing expansion, flew in to the canopy to catch her, and managed to. You seen what was happening as the boat went just folded upon itself. You seen Gaz and Melgrim fly off the other direction. You also seen Vannon go in that direction. That was the last time you seen Vannon. And then you decided, but before that happened, you jumped in, and Sir Janice at the same time did his reaction to Featherfall, which was clutch, by the way. See,
was
you say you've
badass.
played this first time, you knew to use Featherfall at that point.
That's where we're cannonballing into the
I'm just.
Yeah.
I am absolutely improvising every second of my way through this. I'm just
Hey,
I'll
listen,
glorious.
I'll give you a
spell?
secret.
It's Featherfall.
I'll give you a secret, mate. I'm doing exactly the same.
Yeah.
What?
DM.
An improvising GM? No.
I know. How dare I? I need to stick to the rules in the rule books because that's how D&D is played. No, it's not.
Rule of cool. Rule of
Yeah,
cool.
I think we've actually just lost a few
As-
viewers because of that.
We're doing it 2 viewers, and there's 8 of us watching it.
How dare you make fun of the rules? Follow the
As
rules.
Vannon was falling, would I have a rough idea which direction he was going in?
Give us a wisdom saving throw. See if you remember.
Wisdom save. Come on.
I've got several target numbers in my head for this. Right. Okay. Right. Alright, so it's not enough to give you advantage. You remember seeing him? Apart from that. You've got keen mind though, yeah?
I do, yes.
Yeah, you remember seeing him.
Yeah.
You remember the direction he went off in. At the time you weren't thinking though, because your instant reaction was to help those that were in need and cast the Featherfall. So you do, but you will after actually give us an investigation check as well.
Okay, investigation.
Oh, Napoleon Gold crying sounds. I know it's a heavy episode to start with. You've got the general direction. You know it's not north.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got conflicting memories because you remember everything. It's just a case of click, and then you jumped in. So you remember
Okay.
that was the direction, but you don't know if they were adjusted for when you cast a spell. They may have went in a different direction. You've got a general idea, but it's quite a big idea. And from there, that's what you're doing. Yeah, Daphne does that. Melgrim.
I'm gonna kind of like look around.
Even with your stoic, will and background, you realise that you maybe went too far a little bit. You always go too far, but you kind of realise it's maybe on the nose here.
I'm sorry.
Can I
But
roll
your
a
point
wisdom
still
saving throw to
stands.
reject the sorry?
I'm worried about
Yeah.
our friend who might be alive or dead, and I don't want to leave them, but we don't.
Okay. You're right. We need to find Vannon. Did anyone see which direction he fell?
I think if in fact me and Gaz saw him like going in a direction for us.
He flew in the direction he used went. Yeah.
Could I just kind of like point in the direction that we seen him go?
I would have thought that
That way, I think I've seen him.
But surely, if we saw Daphne, shouldn't he be close enough to have seen it as well?
Unless he landed on his head.
He might be injured. Might have a monster fighting him. The only way we're going to find out is if we go look for him.
We can't leave Nim though, right? I mean, she shouldn't be down
Gaz,
here.
Nim,
Gaz, I'm sorry, but Bannon needs us.
Okay.
There's nothing we could do. I tried my hardest to save her. I
know.
stopped her from hurting herself. She didn't die from the fall. I protected her from the fall, but the creature was poisoning her, and I just couldn't. I tried my hardest. I'm sorry, guys.
It's not your fault.
Daphne, you have to understand something. You tried your hardest. It's not your fault, okay? If you don't remember anything else from this, remember it wasn't your fault.
Nim died saving us. Let's not wait that long.
Let's stay together and find Vannon.
Agreed.
No, Ralph,
Ralph.
is not like hugging into. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Ralph, what's your passive perception, mate?
It's only 14, I believe. Because I didn't take perception as a stat.
Okay.
As a proficiency, should I say? Let me just double check.
I'll make a quick roll.
Yeah, passive perception 14. However, if whoever's doing it is like lying, I would know that they're lying because my insight's really high. Does that help?
Yeah, I get you.
The man in the bushes is not telling us the truth.
What man in the bushes?
bushes? Oh my goodness!
Also,
Slasher.
what I'll say is while you're doing that, Nim's kind of Ralph's holding Nim kind of close to him. One of the braids that I've decided that Nim has in her hair.
Oh,
She would most likely have, yes.
It's a warrior's braid. That makes sense.
Yes, yes, she
Ralph,
would have that.
Ralph is going to cut the end off the braid, so about that much hair, and he's going to hold it toward he's going to like hold it towards the kind of religious item that he uses, and he's going to put it in a pouch. His name, if I can, one day I will bring you back to us. And he's going to layer back down in the ground. I would build a cairn, but we're kind of a rush here, so I'm just going to drag this over. Saying we could come back here and build a cairn, but I'm sorry, Nim, that I cannot do better for you this time. And that's it.
Right, so
We need
just
to
as you're
find
saying that, you hear you see a spear just hitting the not just far maybe about 2 feet away from where Nim lies. This huge spear with this huge long silken rope.
Oh, yeah, that's a harpoon.
Climb up that.
Another one lands in just about 5 feet away from
Get
it.
on the
Those are
cover.
the
It's coming
stars.
down. Oh my
Cover.
god!
I'm looking at any cover I can getting behind it, and then just charging up Sacred Flame and be like, oh shit.
Yeah, no problem.
They're turtles.
Right, okay, so from here,
The turtle
we'll
get in the
take this-
shell.
yes, we will take this one at a time. Vannon, what are you doing? I'm only joking. Oh shit.
Uh.
Oh, my heart. Okay, sorry. Nim, what are you doing? Oh.
Oh my god! You
Really?
bastard!
He dives up. I was nearly knocked out.
You sicko.
I was so tempted through that whole thing. It makes so many jokes where she just talked to about.
I'm not
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
I feel happy.
Don't worry, it's
Right.
fine.
Professional RP.
So,
Internal
Ralph
yeah, it
would be the
was.
first to react. So, Ralph, you see these harpoons hitting. What do you do?
Is
Cover, right.
anything fell behind so I can get behind
Only
cover?
thing close to cover would be either your fellow compatriots or the makeshift rudimentary tomb that was made for them.
Right, I'm doing none of that then. So I stand up, shield at the ready, perception check. Can I see anything?
Yeah, give us a perception check then.
I'm looking for movement. I'm looking for a humanoid outline. I'm looking for a light. I don't know anything.
Yep, that's fine.
Perception.
Sir Janice, you were quite close to Ralph as well at this point. What would you do once this happens?
Okay, I'm going to use my good question.
I will have shouted a warning to
We
the
will
group
come
as
back
well.
to you if you want to have a think. Gaz,
I will run over to one of the spears. I'll look to see if the rope is tied to anything, and
Very
I'll
much
go
so.
for it.
That's a good idea. Roll perception check for me, mate. Daphne.
I'm going to have a look. Does the like rope? You said it was like silvery rope, didn't you?
Silky, yeah, it was a silken rope.
So is it something that we've seen before? Would I have seen it before in my carpentry or anything like that?
Well, not so much carpentry, but if you want to give me either a history check or a survival check, you certainly can. One or the other. Melgrim.
Survival's better.
Realizing that these are the same people that attacked us on the boat, I'm going to go to hit the silken rope with
Get
my
you
sword.
that, no problem. Just make an attack roll for me. Sir Janice.
Okay, what I'd like to do is like to use my cantrip, Dancing Lights. Would I be able to tell what direction the harpoon shots came from, so that I could throw my lights in that direction?
You certainly can do that if you want. Make us a perception check as the dancing lights go off. How far are you spreading them out? Just as far as you can?
Yeah, I can get a spread of as long as they're within 20 feet of another light. So
Yeah.
I can create 4. So I can cover about 80 feet with one every 20 feet.
That's true. So you want to do a kind of try to think of the what do they call them?
Fairy lights?
Yeah, no, not so much fairy lights. There's a specific creature that does that. They were in Brave.
Fireflies.
No,
the wisp.
Wisp,
Wisp,
kind of like a
yeah.
wisp.
Oh, Will-o' the Wisp, yeah.
So you've got the lights going every 20 feet, 80 feet up. So the perception. Gaz, Janice, the fear of God is in you once you go look up and go, oh my God, you can't register it. It's a huge shadowy figure sitting just below the canopy of the trees itself. Melgrim, you hit it. Give us damage.
Amosh.
And give me some good damage.
Yeah, baby.
Yep, that is an 8. And the second one.
So, because I've got the one that I'm not messing with because it's got all the stream setup. I was a bit to roll on that.
Hell, we've actually jumped up to 18 viewers. Jesus. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Sorry, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to the
Obviously
show.
heard about our deeply emotional scenes we were just having there,
Yes.
reverberating
Wow.
around the internet, and they've all came to
18
join.
viewers in the day. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us. We know you'll probably be
Join.
doing
Oh,
much better stuff.
Sorry, Mary's just said 10 of them are her.
Yeah, that's fair news. They're all
Okay,
ghost
good.
accounts. That's fine.
That's a joke,
That's still
Twitch.
8
We're
more
only
people.
pretending.
That's still more 8 people watching us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
welcome to the show.
go.
Yeah, you cut down, the rope flies back up. Yeah, what else are we doing? Right, so everyone is watching. Yes, as you see the cut from Melgrim, Daphne. This is silk rope. How the hell silk? You know of silk from your readings and teachings within the Freighter Slux. Silk's very rare. You only get silk for a few places. Spiders, for one. Lots of spiders. There's a lot of spiders in here. But for some reason, there is silk. No, this is properly made silk rope. From looking at it, going, spiders can't make that. This is done for some reason.
Raccoon spiders, oh
Well done, I
no!
was just expecting Aragorn
Yeah.
to come out like,
Spider people.
However,
Spider
the
people.
reason
That would be so cool.
Did you
What
get
about the
that?
spears?
Gaz?
Are they-
So the reason that Janice and Gaz are fearing is because from the shadowy figures that they can see with that just below the harpoons of came, this looks like a spider. This looks like a huge spider. This looks 80 foot across. It is huge and it bulges down. There's 6 legs 3 on each side. It's just hanging on to branches and parts all within. It's almost like a water scatter. You know the wee bugs that used to these skating waters.
Yeah.
The legs, but it's on the opposite end.
The water boatman.
Just below water boatman. Yeah, it's kind of like that, except it's on the other end of the Iron Oak Ocean canopy. It's hanging from above. Loads of
cool.
bulges. Ralph, you got the better of the perception checks, mate. You can see this. You have no idea what this is. Even in any history books you've read, you're thinking for everything you've read and going, what the hell? You're trying to think. You've never seen anything like this. This almost looks, I want to say mechanical, but there is no metal to this. This looks almost mechanical. From the perception, you can barely just make out figures. You've never seen Kreen before, but if you were to guess, this is probably what Kreen would look like. And this thing is just
spider thing from the Wild Wild West.
is just grabbing on.
Oh yes.
And then you hear this loud, huge noise of just being reverberating around the place. Does anybody? What languages do you speak?
I speak Abyssal and Common, and that's it.
Okay.
Celestial, Common, Deep Speech, and Abyssal.
Holy
Mhm.
shit. You guys speak crazy languages. Ralph speaks the languages that the people of the world that we live in speak. Elvish, Dwarvish, Common, and Aquan.
I
speak the language of the
Common and
gods. Okay
Dwarven.
then, where did you learn that?
I took an
I
election.
am a god. Bow
That's
down
true,
to
you are
me,
an elf.
Yeah,
bitches.
that's I do speak Elvish, if that helps.
Elvish, Dwarvish,
I
Common,
speak.
Aquan.
Yeah, I speak Common and Orc.
Common and Orc. Okay, none of yous understand this language.
Interesting.
How do we have such an array of languages and you pick the one language none of us speak?
So
just like
yeah,
so-
this
Made up.
huge inaudible clicks and noises just comes through and starts reverberating around the area within your standing. What do you do?
I'm gonna cut off the silk rope and
Won't be able to
take
cut
out
it.
the spear. Would I be able to cut it?
With a spear?
Oh, with a dagger. So I'm-
It might take you some time, but yeah, it does have hit points.
I'm gonna
Well,
yell, stand down as I'm like cutting each of the things as they come down.
I hate that you've cut it because I want to climb it.
Yeah,
Can
Just,
climb
just so I
one if you
understand
want.
this,
I'm not
Has
able to
the-
get all of them.
Yeah.
has the spear? So the spears came from up the way down. Then, yeah, I thought they came from the set. Okay, so they came from down. Okay.
Yeah.
Ralph is going to shout that this is some kind of vehicle. This is some kind of vehicle. And he is going to do the Radiant Blast, whatever it's called. What did it's called before? Radiant
Flame
Strike.
or
That's Radiant Flame, yes.
Sacred Flame.
Haven't you lost your
Sacred Flame,
spell
thank you.
slots and everything though?
They are Kiss the Cantrip.
Okay.
This is a cantrip.
Cleric, baby.
Okay, what's
I am-
the saving throw on that?
It is a DC 15 Dexterity save.
Oh,
and I'm-
nice.
Dodge this giant boat.
Too bad you don't have.
Uh,
Oh
Just
shit!
So yeah, just harmlessly. But
Yeah.
this is more to get everyone's attention that there's something up there shooting us. Like this is the
I
biggest
get you.
boat.
Oh, that's an
Um,
arm.
Richard, half an hour warning.
Yes, thank you. You could have warned me before that. Anyhow, so with
Hold on,
that,
I'm my R1. There we go.
so with that, more harpoons start firing down. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna throw a wee bit of possible meanness in here. Nim, or shall we say, Rach? Do you want to roll me a d4? Right, right. Before you tell me the answer, don't tell me yet.
I'm
Roll it
gonna roll
again.
it again because I just told you.
Right.
Okay.
Daphne,
Yeah.
Sally, odds or evens?
Evens.
What was the roll?
4.
Yes.
Who knows
I
if
may
that's
be
good or not?
bad.
That'd be bad.
No. Ray of sunshine,
Oh.
positive thinking.
Can you see a 4?
Yeah. That's a
Yeah, it's
4. Yeah,
four.
okay.
That's a nice dice.
So, as one of the
Thanks.
harpoons comes down, it just hits in next to the one you've cut the rope on, and then almost cruelly, harpoon comes down
It goes through
and
there.
smashes into the tomb that was rudimentally made.
No.
Ralph is going to
I
react
want to,
poorly, and
like-
he's going to run up and wrap his arm around this and wait for it to get pulled back up, and he's charging a radiant blast to shoot somebody in the face.
Gaz is also just gonna look up at the black figure just with complete just rage in his eyes for the first time you guys have seen. Or
Yeah.
maybe
I
second time.
love how much your guys' characters upset over name.
Oh yeah. Oh.
You know,
I love it.
just so
I'm
the
loving
viewers
all
know,
this.
I
I
can't like
absolutely
them at
love
all.
it.
Like, Nim
It's
was
as
just
quick as
a
you've mentioned.
Yeah, poor Vannon is like bleeding out in the cross. I'm like, oh my god, I hope they come and save me.
Gaz is gonna like bring up both of his fists.
I bet,
one of them has the
everyone
power.
wants to save me except Melgrim.
I wouldn't say that. So yeah,
Vannon would.
nothing happens. You see the harpoon hit, and it just kind of folds in on itself. The boxes and that. Thankfully, mercifully, you can't see much. Okay. Then all of a sudden, the clicking stops, and then you hear another voice. Ronan, if you would like to.
Who the fuck's Ronan?
They know who this is
It's
because he changed his
that
name.
lady that we know's child. We don't know
Yes,
her.
this is So before we do anything else, you will hear Ronan. If you would like to give us a quick description of your character.
My character is a 5'3" human being. He's wearing green tunic with leather armor on it, and breeches with a great cape wrapped around his waist and over his shoulder. And yeah, that's him. Long hair. Yeah,
What colour's your cape in that?
it's green. With the great kill is with the is
Is it a particular tartan, or is it a real tartan, or
it's a the head of tartan. It's
Nice.
green and brown. Think of a hunting tartan.
Oh, if it's anything like the
Ooh.
one I want, I love the Stuart hunting tartan. It's
Yeah,
very all
it's-
greens and yellows and reds. I
yeah.
love it. Oh yeah,
Yes.
okay, I'll give you that.
It's really to go with the
Yeah.
under the canopies to camouflage.
So, at this point, you will hear this voice speaking over this nose. Now, I've just sent our good friend Ronan a message to read out. If you could read out for me, please.
Can you say when I ask you, stand down and surrender your weapons?
No! Chop, chop.
I shoot him with a sacred flame.
Now, what language? What language did you speak in?
I say in common.
Okay.
Ralph looks at the group.
Melgrim is still cutting this silk on no.
Yeah, that's fine. You start to cut away. This one's a wee bit heavier and it's taking its time.
Melgrim
This looks like
continues the tradition of cutting things with the improper tools.
Yeah.
With the improper tools at the
Climbing
most
up.
inappropriate times.
Gaz will shout at the voice saying, "You damaged our friend's grave. Prepare to die!"
Ronan, how do you react to that?
I prepare to die.
Are you?
I'll send another one down.
I would like to rage.
Oh,
Heavy.
here's the
Yeah,
thing.
I want to rage right now. I'm like, oh, you fucking twat.
Yeah.
Steve Jim's
You
new
tell him,
character
Sally. You
dies
tell
in
him.
one volley. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, give
But
me
I'm
the
still
sunshine.
maintaining.
Take that.
I'm still maintaining. I am. If I can get another one down as a warning shot, stand down, all of you. I don't mean any harm.
He says after launching 20 harpoons at us. It's like,
Killing our dead friend. Fuck you, man.
insight
Yeah.
check. Does he mean
I
us
don't
harm?
mean any harm.
Actually, give us a minute because I'm actually typing up some instructions now there. So you want to see if he's meaning you harm?
Yeah, like insight check on that.
Right,
You want
roll
to kill him.
an insight check. Roll an insight check.
I'm good at these. Where are they?
Melgrim doesn't care whether he does or not. He's still chopping these
21.
carpets as they come in.
So you should have got that message now there, my good man, Jim. So what was the result of the insight check?
21.
21. Jim, do you mean them harm?
Certainly don't.
I mean, I've got nothing here. I'm
Mm.
kind of like a
The
bit
trail of the
stressed
voice
out
from
that they
what,
just.
the trail from the voice of what he's saying and what he's relaying to you is very half-hearted. It's very non-demeanorish. It's very standoffish. It's just a case of it's as if he's being told to say this to you.
Why are you down here? There's nobody lives now in Algoshen.
That's a good point.
I can't think I'm being held to what's too bad. That's great.
You say what you want at this point. The creener just at this point just poking spears into your back, Jim. So you can say
Right.
whatever you want at this point.
I'm gonna look back, and I'm just like, I don't want to give anything away. Yeah, I want to. I realize that these are innocent people. Like, and yeah, guys, stand down.
Was it you that attacked our ship, the Broken Oar? Did you control the Kraken?
And I'm now going to. Can I, outside question? Do the Kraken speak Dwarvish?
The Kraken,
No,
It was
the Kraken.
the Queen.
Queen.
the Queen.
The Queen, aye.
Yeah.
You've been speaking to one of them.
Yeah.
So your position right now. We'll get to that in a minute, Sally.
Yeah.
As you're speaking, your position now, you're in some sort of, it's almost like a bamboo cage. You're
Yeah.
stuck in this bulbous thing hanging under. It's almost like an egg
Yeah.
sack that you're hanging under this machine.
Like a ball sack.
Yeah, like a ball sack if you want to call it, slamming against faces. Family show, people.
Well, I always
Um,
did
Come on,
consider you a
guys.
little
Green-
nuts, Jane.
Come on,
The
guys.
Queen right
indeed.
now are basically holding spears at you to
Yeah.
tell you to say this. They've given you some sort of contraption to shout in, so to relay a message, and it
Yeah.
seems to be written in rudimentary common. These are the phrases you've been asked to read over and over again until you get a reply.
Right.
As soon as you heard a reply back, one of the Queen ran off. The other two are still standing, just poking at you. Just keep reading over and over again.
Yeah.
You're
And
just as confused. You're just as
Yeah.
confused as everyone else.
Yeah, do I see who's beneath? Do I see lights of who these are? Like if it's another dwarf that's down there?
Make me a perception check.
Cool. Then I'll do that just now.
With your puny human eyes.
Beautiful. Yeah, you can see everything from here.
Right,
There's
okay.
enough light. There's enough light giving off from the bottom of the.
Right.
It's almost like a glow. It's like a kind of neon blue glow just hanging under what we would call the belly of this beast, mechanical thing. And again, you've got a couple of cage egg sacs where you're sitting. There's a couple of others open. One in particular has only got one other person in it.
Yeah.
Rachel, if you would like to describe your character.
Who? Me?
Yes, you. Nim. Oh, I've made myself sad again.
Oh.
You
You see-
sicko.
You see a human woman. She's currently wearing a grey cloak, and she seems to have like rags on. She's very dirty. Doesn't look nicely kept or anything, and has really dirty black hair. And she's kind of just like curled up in a ball in one of these egg sacs. I think you just said yes.
Yeah, it's basically
Yeah.
it's almost like a cage made out of bamboo. For purposes of real life stuff to give you an idea of what it looks like. It's not proper bamboo. You reckon it's maybe made from the iron oak, but you don't know how, because it's a very hard to break through. You've not that you've not tried. You have tried. It's just
Yeah,
really
she's
hard.
got no nails left, hardly,
Yeah.
just blood all over.
Yeah.
Like
So
she's
you're
trying to get
currently
out there.
hanging. Yeah. Like I say, so you two are currently confused at this point.
Yeah.
And I would like to point out as well, the two of yous, this is the first time you've heard common in a long time.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna scream for help.
I'm
Help!
gonna keep continuing down. I'm gonna go.
Please
Yeah.
help! Get me out!
Stand down, or I will not harm you. Just lower your weapons. Then I'm going to turn into a spot Merlin dwarf. Then I'm going to speak dwarf and say, I am currently held in this cage. I am captured and I need help. Please,
As soon as you
just
say that,
as
as soon as you
say,
get to that
I
point,
am-
bang, spear into your back, it really hurts.
that's why I'm grabbing and yank him down.
Do that motion again,
Yeah,
Jim.
you pull it, but they pull it back up. They obviously know that you
Right,
tried
I'm
something.
sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Don't do that, right. Stand down.
Yeah,
You will not,
anyone who
you will
speaks
not be
Dwarvish,
harmed.
anyone speaks Dwarvish would have heard that message relayed.
Sarah, this silky stuff, does it feel climbable?
Yes, very much so. In fact, we're getting to that. Sally is halfway up one of these ropes.
Yeah, I am going to start climbing one of the
Yeah,
ropes
she
as
is.
well.
Can I move closer towards
Shimmying up.
Yeah.
the mechanical?
I am a dwarf and I'm climbing a rope.
So,
Underwater
I need
pirates.
Sally, I need Daphne and Melgrim to start making athletics checks for me. Right, we'll go from here. Gaz, you were talking. What are you doing, mate?
I will just try and
Oh,
move
yes, I fly
towards
Hell
the
yeah.
vehicle, and I'll try and see if I can
You both rolled
get
crazy,
any
right?
closer to it.
What was that, sorry, Gaz?
I'll try and see if I can get any closer to the vehicle.
Right. As
Easy.
close as you'll get is probably climbing the rope. It is, like I say, you're from where you're standing in relation to the top of the canopy or the bottom of the canopy. You're maybe talking about 100, 120 feet up. But this is a big machine.
I'm just gonna
So-
somebody go into the chat and tell them not to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
However-
check 'em. I don't mean that in a
I've already
bad way,
picked
but
them.
it's like
No,
Yeah.
quite
that's why I was saying we should lock down these
Yeah.
bids.
So, however, like I say, if you want to try and climb up the rope, you certainly can try it. I added the "it" there because copyright infringement.
Okay. Don't know. I'll just message.
You can
Yeah.
certainly
yeah,
roll.
you
You
can
can
use
certainly,
attempted.
acrobatics or athletics to climb up.
yeah. You want to do athletics to climb up?
Okay.
Okay, I love it.
Oh, great.
Yes, I love you
Oh.
guys. I love you.
Yes.
I can't do it.
While Ralph is busy dealing with our invader, Sir Janice, what are you doing at this point?
That's a very good question. In
I've-
fact, I know exactly what I could.
I'm
will do.
coming. I'll get there eventually.
I'm going to. I have a first level spell that I can use, which I very much should have used earlier if I remembered that I had it. I have the spell Comprehend Languages, and I can use that to understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that I hear.
You certainly can. Do you want to cast that?
I do, yes.
Yeah. So you
Now,
start to
question:
understand.
if I cast this, will it also mean that they'll understand anything I say, or is it just one way?
No, I think this is one way. So they'll be able to speak to you, and they will actually be able. You'll be actually able to understand them. However, depending on the levels, I'm pretty sure I will check that out now.
It was so Scottish. No.
I'm gonna check that out now because there's a moose loose about this house.
Ah, do you remember the old one? No, no.
Yeah, sorry, wait, don't do that. I'm just gonna tell the invader to go and get still and switch and bump our numbers. There we go.
Yep, for the duration, you understand a little bit of any spoken language that you hear. You understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. It takes 1 minute to read one page of text. That's fine. We will say for this, you can only comprehend. Just go off the description. You can only comprehend. You cannot relay what you're talking.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Not a problem. So yes,
Okay,
you
so
can
I'll go
understand
ahead and
languages.
cast comprehend languages then.
Okay, so you
And
you
so
catch the end of the dwarven as you hear the "Hey man," and then all of a sudden you hear what Jim was saying at this point in dwarf. You managed to catch a little bit at the end of it. Interesting enough, give us a perception check to see if you hear any of the clicks.
perception.
Yeah, cursed Ralph that actually
Rolling,
plays work on
rolling.
us as we're doing this. Because how else are they going to get us up there? Like, surround your weapons. No.
Okay,
All right, then we'll leave.
Over all the shouts, you can hear some of the clickings, and then all of a sudden you're hearing basic words coming in common that you as if you could understand it all your life. It's strange. You hear them. It's you can hear big prize, monetary, love it, great food. It's all these clicks coming around. There's several of these clicks you can hear that are now being comprehended into words of big prize, monies, big prize, greats, foodstuffs. It's a very, very rudimentary language that the Three Queens speak. It's all clicks and insectoid-like. It's not one of these ones that we can understand or speak. But from what the clicks and the spell is pulling to you, it's just simple words. And it's very strange, but you can gather from what they're talking about and saying they're very excited the fact that they've managed to find yous.
Okay, I'm just going to turn around to everyone else and just say as quickly as I can. All right, they've got people up there that they're actually keeping hostage, but we're not safe here. I've no clue what to do, but this thing is not going to let us go. We need to defend ourselves.
Can I see what is connecting the sacks to the bottom of the ship, as in ropes or whatever?
No, you can't from this distance. No.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to do that then. Ralph's. What is their plan? Are they going to? Are they surrounded us as we speak? And I'm going to have a perception check around the area to see if they're trying to come in from the sides. Because otherwise, how are they going to get us up there?
If you want to, if you want to make a perception check for that, then by all means.
Can I shout down in common? You're surrounded. Then in Dwarvish, no, you're not.
Yeah, as soon as you say no, you what? Not in Dwarvish. It's
And sweet lady did guide me in this. 21.
Funnily enough, as you turn around, you hear you're surrounded, and then you hear no, you're not in Dwarvish. You feel another harpoon coming from a different direction.
Like when you say different direction, above us or like left or right?
Yeah, so you've from so to give you theatre of the mind, yous are all standing on this basically like a wooden kind of barrier plinth thing. It's about 15 foot wide, quite long, 30-40 foot. You've now got 4 harpoons broken into just in front of you. Directly in front of you, you see the silken rope go up, and you can see this huge spider thing. Now, just above your shoulder, from behind you, comes another harpoon with another silken rope. Looks exactly the same.
I like to think that these all keep hitting them. So no matter
No,
where they
they're
shoot
not hitting
from.
them. Only one
Oh.
hitting them. That's why I got used to roll, because it's too small a platform for you to be on, and it's getting closer now.
Am I within 30 feet of any of the bad guys?
No.
Okay.
Well, we're underneath well.
They are currently dealing with the other. Did you describe what race you were, Ronan?
Yeah, I'm a human.
Human.
Describing the human as he was shouting across, and whatever contraption they seem to have built to amplify the voice.
Would I still have any of my weapons with me? No.
Nothing like that at all. That would just be silly.
Fully armed. Do I have my lockpick on me? Oh yes,
you've got
actually.
I love your optimism though. So from here, as you feel the last harpoon come over your shoulder there, Ralph, and we see Daphne and Melgrim quickly scurrying up one of the silken ropes, and poor Gaz going slide back down, failing miserably. We will end that session there this evening.
Interesting.
Dun,
Oh, it's a
dun,
right
dun.
cliffhanger for me and you, innit, Scott?
Literally a cliffhanger. The world of
Ah.
Florium. What's going to happen? Are people going to die? Probably. That's the new
No,
theme
too
song. We
many
don't
have
have any
died
music.
already.
We're not allowed music because, reasons.
Swap it
The
out.
interesting
Everyone,
thing about this
acapella.
campaign that we should
Play
have
some
said
music.
was that we're gonna have new characters every week, so the characters can only last 3 weeks max, and then they just get killed, and they have to bring in a full new character.
yeah. I again, being the DM, it's an ego trip for me. I just like killing these fuckers.
Well, the one caveat is it means Scott's characters are always going to hate each other, no matter what it is.
And me and him are the only ones that are going to survive because we hate each other, and that's part of Richard's
It's like,
power
I
trip.
refuse to
Your
die.
hatred will
Yeah.
fuel your survival.
Yes, the wrecked goat.
We're on a tangent.
Technically, the wrecked goat brings up a good thing in chat. We do actually have a guy for a cappella, but it's David and he has the bard, and it just it makes sense.
We will eventually find some royalty-free music.
Yeah, if anyone knows of royalty-free music that we are able to use for campaigns such as the mutant one we do on Mondays and this one, especially this one,
I'm
'cause,
sure there's D&D stuff. I've not had a chance to look, but like mutants
I'm
going to be
sure
hard.
if we asked Bethesda, they'd let
And
us
we're
have
off-
the Skyrim
we're off,
contract. I mean, that's
tangent
probably
again.
smart parents, yeah.
Right, let's get back
Of
to
course
the
I will.
So,
Done.
yeah, they like
yeah.
to say we are
Big
finished
enough.
for this
I mean, we've
evening.
had like 13 people all night watching.
Yeah.
Hey, go up to
We-
18 at a point.
It did. We peaked at 18,
Yeah.
which is pretty good. Again,
Ben-
just on that, thanks very much, guys, for watching. I mean,
Yeah,
18 folk, that's insane.
It was so
Really?
nice of you all to subscribe to the channel as well. I was so
Yeah, and
impressed.
send us money at this address, at this PO box. All cash monies, all checks included.
If you're
No,
poor,
coming
Well,
soon,
if you
man.
have
if you're poor, a follow will
If you
do.
have a Prime account, you can subscribe to by Prime.
So, anyhow, we'll call it an evening there. I think again, thank you very much for joining in the first live stream of the world of Felorium. I have to say it every time now because Lee makes me.
World of
Big
Yeah.
thank you to in no particular order, although the order comes up on the Discord chat. David, Jim, Lee, Leon, Rachel, Sally, and Scott, and of course the marvelous DM that is Dick Naylor, who's currently. And the vest thing is a thing. All DMs wear vests, so that's why Rachel will be doing the next game of whatever. I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
That
I've seen
is
her
a joke.
face.
Ends the rule.
That is a joke. But the
Rachel has
GM and
promised us
DMs
that
wear
she will
vests.
DM one day.
Yes,
not
she
today.
she said she would.
And on that
but
day, I
she's-
will not wear a
She's
vest.
just wearing a vest for reasons unknown.
She will wear something different, is what she
Too
means.
warm
Yeah,
outside
yeah.
To
to
clarify,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
will
to
wear.
clarify.
Very warm in
Okay.
England.
Because we need
Like
people
in
to simp,
Scotland.
right? Anyhow, again,
I plug Mutant next Monday. Mutant Year Zero, DM by me. Like half this group is here. Watch that.
Mutant
yeah, on
is the
Monday.
best.
If
Aye.
anyone else has got anything else to plug, I'm pretty sure a couple of my
Yeah.
friends are in as well.
Yeah.
The likes of
You're
I
would
don't know
like
if
to-
Namida No Samurai is in. He's a very good streamer as well. Twitch, if he's back on, I'm pretty sure Helpful Onions will probably be in there. Maybe even Sage of Time.
We are
Again,
going to
all
start
both great.
haranguing everybody to
Yeah,
any UK streamer. Just follow us. We'll follow you
There
back.
is
Follow us
there
on
is
Twitter.
there is a setup on Twitch where you can just put in a command and it'll give you links to their channel and say thanks very much for coming in the chat so you can follow. But again, can't find the option. I know, Wrecked Goat. That's I appreciate that. But anyway, genuinely,
It's because
thank
we
you
don't
very much
have
for
affiliate
watching.
links. That's how.
Yes, that's it. So
So we're
again,
really just looking for followers
follow
right
us so we can get the
Follow,
affiliates and then we
follow,
can link
follow.
you.
Because all we need
Anyway.
to do is get
Follow
50
the
followers.
channel.
We will do the sign off.
Follow us.
Thank you.
Follow us.
yeah.
Follow us.
Like I say, do what Sally says.
Follow
She's
me.
a big ball of sunshine. Thank you very much for watching us, and hopefully we'll see you next week.